Oh my, welcome to the Summit Cross Up podcast, where we always say it is a skill issue. Right now, I'm joined by Lobrylla over here, who will forever be a hateful Xiao Yu person because Jin is Lobs' one and only, while next to her is Pryde, who is a more obedient to his friends than Kuma is with Hayachi right now. And I'm Tomodoc, the person at every local that says the arcade environment was always better, even though it was 20 years ago. How's it going, guys?
This tells me you still use coin laundry. Am I right?
Pretty.
No way.
Shut up. Okay, we were just talking about the local, by the way, that I'm going to be going to. So I'm going to the NYCT Tech and local. There, I have to go to the ATM machine at the coin up laundry. That's where I have to go. But anyway, yeah, keep going. What was that? What were you gonna say, Lobs?
I was just gonna say, Jen is Lob's one and only, but is it the man or the drink? Because that one could kind of go either way.
You're a rum person though, from our little, like, the history that I know you from.
Oh, but I do appreciate Jen sometimes.
I am clipping that, by the way, so that I could use that against you. Next time you face a Jun, or you face my Jun or something, I'll just put that up there, and then that she gets so mad because you're just messing with her son. But anyway, right now we actually kind of changed up the format of the podcast, so we're going to kind of go straight into the next segment here, and we're going to go straight to the news. So take it away, Lobs.
My Shiranui's trailer for Street Fighter 6 was released on January 13th. That gets fans to see the iconic SNK ninja showing off gameplay, a possible special intro with Chun-Li, and a release date of February 5th. Fans have long waited for this release since it's teased at the start of Season 2 back in June of last year. Soon, SF6 players will be piloting the character and not just staring at her future release tease pictures from the summer. Pryde, eyes up here.
Oh, okay. One thing, listen up. EVO 2025 organizers had a missed input and accidentally leaked the lineup for this summer's event in Las Vegas. Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Guilty Gear Strive are nearly guaranteed returns to the main stage for the final day, while Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, Under Night In-Birth 2, Sis Elise, and Mortal Kombat 1 also make their return this summer. Newcomer, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, will also feature on the main stage, while Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes, is the retro game this year. I wonder if Justin Wong will come out of retirement and compete, with all that Wazzler stuff going on. Or did he just make everyone refund the game?
Yeah, he put the fun in refund.
Fun and refund.
But anyway, right now, as of this recording, Frosty Fasting is coming up, and that starts on January 23rd, and Lombard, Illinois will be invaded by the Arxis Works over there, which will begin next Friday at the time of this recording, now that I think about it. This is an official Arxis World Tour event for Guilty Gear Strive, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, and Under Night In-Birth 2. Even though this is their tour stop, World Tour stop, SNK is actually even using this event as their own tour stop for King of Fighters 15. Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 are also going to be there, amongst many other games. I think there's a whole library of, 20 games that are there right now. But we even have platform fighters like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Rivals of Ether 2. But big thing is that Sega had announced this week that they will be sponsoring a special Virtual Fighter 5 Revo tournament prior to the game's release on January 28th at Frosty Faustings. So there's going to be pure fighting at its finest. And apparently all participants in this Revo tournament at Frosty Faustings will get a free t-shirt. I want some free swag just to get bodied. It's worth my pride.
Despite rumors of Warner Brothers possibly ending support for Mortal Kombat 1, NetherRealm Studios released a full preview gameplay trailer of Conan the Barbarian on January 16th, showcasing more of the gameplay, while Chaos Reigns DLC is set to be released on January 21st. Let's hope that MK1 can keep getting DLC support. Game needs some good news at some point. Good news for MK1. Yeah.
That's right. And when Bandai Namco released Clive from Final Fantasy XVI as DLC this past December, he solidified himself shortly after release to be quite the menace in Tekken 8. As with all character DLC though, with the franchise, there's a hot fix patch to fix the overpowered moves to level the playing field. Included in this patch are ease of life features as well, such as the infinite rematch feature in a quick match mode, and more custom skin slots. OP DLC is always the way to go, and we won't have to see Clive in 90% of our ranked matches now until the start of Season 2.
And that is it for our news bulletin for this episode. So thank you guys for everything. And
You're welcome.
yeah, so that, and kind of segueing into all that. Wow, it's like earthquaking over here. Like I'm in like the state of New York. We don't have earthquakes here, although we did have one actually in June. Um, but like kind of segueing now to the sort of the the more like editorial debate part of the podcast. Like we're talking about character DLCs, and like this trend that I've noticed is that they're always okay. Let's talk about it in terms of Tekken and in terms of not Guilty Gear, but definitely in Grand Blue. It happened for a little bit where they would remember like when 2B came out, and then who was the other one? Zeta, like in vanilla Grand Blue. They were just like these super OP characters that were just getting super um, you know, they're just out there and basically ruining the meta for everybody, and everyone was just doing like one or two button type strats. Right now with Clive, they just did that. They just nerfed him a little bit. They did the same thing with Lydia. They did the same thing. They didn't really do it with Eddie. He wasn't really that overpowered, but definitely with Hihachi, Lydia, and now Clive. So like I wanted to kind of open up the floor and like, what do you guys think of like this overpowering? Like I have my theory on it, but I wanted your guys' theory. And you know what? I'm probably gonna like get it to, let's see here. I just forgot to do one thing, but like maybe Lobs, like why don't you kind of like maybe give me your theory on like maybe why they do it, or like give me your thoughts on like OP DLC in general.
Well, I think the most generous way I can look at it is it's difficult to balance any game like this, right? So, when the game comes out, you have your 30 to 50 characters these days. It sure seems like it, right? You get all of these characters up front, and they've spent a long time making all of these characters be at least somewhat homogenous with each other. Cough, I'm looking at you, Dragonov, cough. But then they have to add other characters to that mix, right? So I can say at least it seems like that would be a difficult thing to keep balanced.
Mhm.
But also there is that small part of me that goes, they want people to buy these characters. And one way to get people to buy a character is to give them a little bit of oomph, either through like making them look really good, giving them cool looking moves, or I don't know, making them kind of, overpowered. At least I, you know, the less nice way of looking at it would be that.
Hmm.
What do you think, Pride?
Yeah, if you pass it off to me, I just think there's this element of FOMO that really works in the gaming industry right now, where like, especially if something's very strong, you're gonna look at that in tournaments. And when a character's strong, they do well in tournaments, they do well in ranked. Maybe you play your main and you fight them in ranked, and you're like, "What's this?" And you see how strong they are. You're really more incentivized to purchase it then. And I think that ties into what you said earlier, and that's mainly my whole take on this. It's not just fighting games that do this. MOBAs, card games, they all tend to release things very strong and then nerf them later, because at the end of the day, what are you going to say about it, right? If it gets nerfed, it gets nerfed. You can't really like make a petition or something, right? So I think that's why we see a lot of these characters release strong, flashy, and enticing, and then get nerfed later. But I do agree also with what you said, where new characters have to bring something new to the table. I mean, that's where the new comes from. And when you do that, you have to apply that balance philosophy and design philosophy into the already existing roster. So that's when you can get some strange things happening. So then you would have to adjust that as well. So me personally, I'm okay with it as long as you don't nerf said characters to the ground and diminish their purchase. That's my big take.
Yeah, I mean, what we could, yeah, as Lobs is trying to focus her camera. Um, what I kind of like akin to when it comes to like this type of stuff is actually not even just Tekken 8, where they released a character and it was still legal. Like it was still legal. Like Combo Breaker 2024 is a very good example. Combo
Mm-hmm.
Breakers is always on Memorial Day in May in the States. We have a Canadian here, so I have to make sure I you know let everyone know that. But it's always there. And then literally a week before was when Akuma was released for Street Fighter 6 for the final DLC. And they said let's roll with it and just see, but it was also not a Capcom event either, so that's another thing. So that's probably why they did it. But I mean, there is some sheer entertainment when we're doing like week one type of games. When we are going to be doing DIY this May actually, we're going to be on week one of City of the Wolves, so we don't even know what metas are going to be out there in general. But when it comes to that type of stuff, I get you need to have a flashy character, you need to have something bring something new to the table. What I don't like is that I just wish it was kind of, I guess that you need the masses to sort of quote unquote test, because I feel like it's just as soon as a new character comes out, I'm like just waiting. I don't even want to play the new character until the patch is in. Like I haven't touched Clive yet because I was like, well, there's gonna be a hot fix later. Like I thought the hot fix was actually gonna come in another couple weeks with like the season 2 patch. I didn't realize Tekken 8 was already, they had one more patch before the season 2 had started. But like, you know, like Pryde, going back to you,
Hmm.
like with that strategy of like nerfing and everything of, of that nature, does that, would that like hurt like the character a little bit? Like we saw what happened to Azucena. Like granted she's not
Yeah.
DLC, but she's a new character, and then they nerfed her out crazily, and now she's
Mhm.
not even used that much.
No, that is so true. As someone who also played Azucena a little bit, to Azucena's merit, Azucena was base roster, so at least consumers weren't like, "What just happened?" Right? If we're looking in a vacuum in Clive's case, he's definitely fine. The stuff that he had was just so egregious; it was spammy. They want to get rid of that to increase move set variety and make things good. But in general, yeah, with Azucena, she took a massive hit. So I'm glad Clive didn't take that much of a hit. That's good. But in general, like, yeah, you have to really be delicate with these sort of things. When you release a character, Clive's a good example where like the OP-ness was just from several moves. But if you release someone who's drastically crazy and then you nerf them to a degree where they're almost unrecognizable and then you charged money for it, then we have a problem. But like I said, in a vacuum, Clive's gonna survive. He's okay.
I was gonna
As a Clive main, we're
Yeah.
chilling.
I was gonna say though, it's just like if there's a character that needs to be nerfed in Tekken, it's a Dragunov. Just
It's
because
Dragon.
like it's
Yeah. Hmm.
he's a little bit OP, and then maybe some child named J Ian J I
You talking about the drink again? I can't
yeah,
tell.
I can't tell. Whatever. But Lobs, like what's your take?
Oh, I absolutely agree with Pride there. One thing I will say, like in Azucena's case, though, I think it went even a little further because they didn't just like tone down her moveset, which they did at first. They eventually kind of reworked her moveset quite a bit. So ultimately, they said it was to make her more of the sort of character they wanted her to be in the first place. I can kind of understand that. But it did have the added effect of she wound up getting played a lot less than she was before. And when a character comes out that can like spam a specific move and have it be very powerful, and you can use it to sort of walk all over other people, people do tend to get upset, even logically knowing that move's probably going to get nerfed eventually. They're probably going to fix it. They didn't intend for this one move to be like the balance breaker of the game, and yet still, once it goes away, it's like, oh, character ruined, as if, their entire kit is now garbage now that that one move is gone. Or in the very least, that's kind of, I keep an eye on the various social medias for these games, Blue Sky, Reddit, whatever, and just to keep an ear on what the community is saying. And Tekken community has a lot of very strong opinions about these things when characters change. Though I didn't notice much with Clive. I tend to agree with Pryde. I fought him earlier today and was definitely still struggling the same way I was before. So I don't think they nerfed him out of orbit or anything. And I don't think they would, since,
No.
as we said before, he is a DLC character. I don't know that they would do that, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I kind of figured that, but like we're specifically talking about Tekken and how they address it. Like, but
Yes.
there has been another game that is pretty much part of like the well, arguably, yeah, it is the top game. Where they've released 3 characters, and only one of them actually was affected by a patch. I believe Bison was the only one that actually got affected because there was like a July. Wasn't there like a July patch for Street Fighter 2? Oh, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 6. It was like it was like a season 2 patch. So I can't remember, but um what happened?
Who's
No, I'm
living in
laughing
the
'cause you said Street
arcades
Fighter
from
2,
20
and
years
then
ago?
yeah, the arcade environment 20 years ago, and you said Street Fighter 2. All right.
You know what? I'm flicking you off right now with my mind. Anyway, but yes, I was watching way too many of these like Street Fighter 2 clips from like these arcade runs where they're like doing these like cancels, and I'm like, wait a second, this is Street Fighter 2. They have cancels, like a lot of them, and it was pretty sick. But anyway, continuing on my point though, it's like they got these new characters. We have Terry, like Terry came out, everyone loved him, and then all of a sudden, no one plays him anymore. And Bison, actually, I think Bison still played a lot. It's just that I've always thought his gameplay was always boring anyway. But that's my personal opinion about him. But I know some people around in our community love him a lot. But now with like my Shiranui coming into play, it's like the hype isn't about like the hype for her isn't the character, it isn't like the move set, or at least actually to me, it is partially the move set, but it's not because it's overpowered. It's just kind of cool to see. Like I don't know if you guys saw that trailer, but um there's like more about this, at least definitely more than like Clive. Sorry. Like Clive was the Clive reveal
Don't
is
apologize for Clive, man. Just,
it was like it was bad. Like for me, I'm like I have no idea about Final Fantasy, but I do know who SNK is. SNK is my company of choice when it comes to fighting games. So when they released about Mai, it was pretty much classic Mai, but like when they released her with in that first part of the trailer, they showed the femme fatale costume. It was like I don't know. I was kind of like in heaven in a way. I was like, oh my god, like this is just kind of great. And I guess we'll just segue into something a little bit inaudible, but like let's kind of react to Mai a little bit because this was sort of part of the episode that we wanted to kind of talk about. But like that was like my initial reactions to Mai. Like Lobs, what was yours? Considering I know this is like pretty much your favorite character in at least in Garo, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, when it comes to SNK, a lot of them, it's, you tend to pick three. I always liked King and I always liked Mai. Like that third character would often change, but those two would always remain the same. I even have like a background here where I have like two people who come out. I call them the Muses, Chun-Li and Mai. Because to me, with my fighting game ladies, and boy do I love fighting game ladies, Chun-Li and Mai are my muses. And I'm going to absolutely love them both being in the same game. Again, from the moment they announced that Mai was coming to Street Fighter 6, I was very excited. I don't really play Street Fighter 6 as much as I used to. I sort of fell off. I'd sort of dabble with characters here or there. I had an Ed thing for a while. I had a Jamie thing for a bit. But I have been looking forward to Mai coming out because when it comes to guest characters in these games, I really love it when the companies work together and sort of mix and match characters. I think it's really fun to see how the move sets translate into other games and how you wind up using them
Mhm.
with the other systems. Like her stuff looks great. I really enjoyed the trailer, and so much of it was absolutely like how she is in King of Fighters.
Yeah,
It
the
was
art,
really nice.
some of even the super was like kind of awesome too, and everything like that. But like, but Pride, like, what were your thoughts on the whole thing?
On mine?
On
Oh,
my,
I
yeah.
thought it was just incredible. Even like when she says her favorite line and then passes her fan and she has the smile. That's
Mm,
basically just like one for one from the artwork. I
mhm.
think they did a wonderful job because lately with the AAA gaming industry, you have no idea how they're gonna treat certain characters and their portrayals. Wow, Capcom was just like, nah, nah, nah. Gas pedal, fully hit. They knew what the audience wanted. Both like young one or no, old who were have grow up with SNK and Capcom in its early days, kind of like yourself, Toma. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just genuinely mean that. And then there's also, and then also the people who are playing fighting games now in the rollback era, right? It hits, and I think they know it. And to me, even though Terry was a big deal, he was in Smash too, so a lot of people knew him from that. I think Mai's gonna hit even harder. I think Mai's gonna
Oh,
bring a lot of people in. It's just great, and they really nailed every aspect from the character art to her both her voices of different languages to her both her costumes, especially the one from City of the Wolves. Honestly, it kind of looks better in Street Fighter 6. I'm not gonna lie, but it looks really good. I'm excited. I dabble in Street Fighter 6 myself, probably less than Lobs. Just play Luke, woohoo! But this will get me interested in looking at it again because I'm just curious. I just want to know how it goes, and that's the whole appeal of guest characters, you know.
yeah, no, it is the whole appeal of guest characters. I do love the fact that it's like it's getting well, I've always been wanting to go back at SNK a little bit ever since I started this sort of because I am old and I came back to all these fighting games and that's how I met the both of you. I was like, "Oh, let me try this stuff. This sounds kind of fun and cool." But it like my my in City of the Wolves, I really like I'll be honest, like everybody always loves like I guess it's like a shinobi, like the shinobi costume. At least that's what they call it in Tekken, right? And
Mhm.
um yeah, fine, cool. It's like Chun-Li's classic outfit too. It's like there's something about it that everyone like loves, falls in love with it. Everyone, including Lobs, would sort of like pause it at the weirdest angle when in Street Fighter 2, just to see going kind of look at a just to see look at some nether regions. Yes, I did just call her out as she's like laughing so hard right
That's
now.
amazing.
But no, my point is that I actually I always liked like the Nina type of costume, like the Nina like femme fatale costume. So
Mhm.
like my and her version of that is just like awesome. When um I mean there isn't really like Chun-Li's third costume is probably okay. It's nice, but I would love her to be in some sort of like femme fatale type of like like where she's supposed to be an assassin or she's supposed to be, really fight. Most people do not fight in those type of like outfits to me. But to both of your points, she's gonna be rocking and this is just perfect as like what Lobs is saying. We're in a weird well, not weird. We're in a very fortunate era of fighting games and video games in general where there's so much cross promotion. There's so much um uh you know cross promotion, cross marketing, whatever you want to call it. And it's like you even touched on it a little bit, Pride. It's like we had Kazuya, we have Terry like right in Smash.
Right.
Um like I don't know, they're even in isn't like like Labs, isn't Ryu in like I think Chun-Li as well. Aren't they like in like Fortnite or something? Like
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt and take Lob's thunder, but
no,
I
no,
know the
no, no,
Fort
no.
Yeah.
It's fine. I was just trying to ask as I'm trying to like, because
a
me
lot.
being radio
I
guy,
know all of them.
I know how to like distribute to kind of pulling back the curtain. But yeah, like Lobs. Okay, we'll kind of go to this part of the topic. Like, what is your favorite like cross promotional thing? Like, it doesn't matter if it's fighting games or whatever, but like, let's try to see if you can stick it to fighting games or fighting game related. But what was like the best cross promotional character that you know that kind of touches you in a way?
You know, I mostly play video games. Personally, I will say though
Says the
that
streamer.
I know, right? I know, like I'm gonna go back to my youth a little bit here and talk about like Soul Calibur because to me that was one of the first games that really did a lot of like that cross promotion and it was really cool. You know how each console had their own characters. It was really fun that you had Yoda in there, Link in there, right? Spawn.
Hmm.
Like, there was like various ways you can play it. So when I think about it, I actually often will think about Soul Calibur and some of the cool stuff they did. And I'll also mention just to throw it out there that I think Mortal Kombat adding in a lot of these old school, characters in there is also pretty cool. Like I won't say, I mean, I enjoy Conan the Barbarian as much as anybody else. I've watched Red Sonja, whatever. It's just kind of cool that he's going to be in there and that they've, created the fatalities and all this stuff and got all creative with it. I think the Joker's fatality was one of the better ones in Mortal Kombat 11. When they really like embrace these characters and bring them in, and like really play to their strengths regardless of where they're from. Uh, it's magic. When it's not done well, it's not. But it can be done so well. And then it makes you want to go back and watch where they originally came from, right?
Yes. hmm
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I'll just say that for me, that was Ghostface in Mortal Kombat 1. They nailed Ghostface so well, put so much love into like Ghostface implementation and how like the followers are joined in and whatnot. It made me watch pretty much all of Scream. I actually was like, I don't even play Mortal Kombat 1 that much, but I just thought he's such a fascinating addition that I did. So that ties perfectly into what Lob said. I literally am like the statistic of I will watch things. Or like Clive, I bought Final Fantasy 16. Call me a sucker. I don't care. They're great. If you guys want a fun story for me, because we're tying to the same question of guest characters that mattered, most people who know me, I'm a pretty big Sonic fan. When I was in grade 5, so I'm 27 now, they announced on the website, the Brawl Dojo, that Sonic was getting to Smash Bros. Brawl. So I went to my mom, she's a realtor. I went to her printer and I printed out a bunch of copies of pamphlets that told everyone that Sonic was coming to Brawl, enough for my classmates and for the grades above and below. And I literally was like, guys, this is real. Look at the URL. And I was passing flyers to everyone in elementary school saying Sonic is going to get into this. And everyone was like, dude, really? And it was, yeah, I did that. So that for me, like my actual answer is probably Cloud. In Smash 4, because then every game I played, if there's a Final Fantasy protagonist, you'll watch me play them. It just kind of was a nice trend, but I don't know. I think there's something about being a kid and like printing out pamphlets, like their wanted posters, being like, guys, this character's coming. Because we didn't have we didn't have phones, we didn't have like the internet as much, right? We just had like Game Boy Advances playing Pokemon Emerald or something.
Well,
like we didn't have this.
I'm
I
like,
printed it out.
I know.
Printed it out.
I'm imagining. No, I'm seriously imagining you. Granted, this is only like you just said your age, so I'll just say it's like
2008.
that's like not
2000
even 15 years ago.
2008.
It's not even like 15 years ago where we were talking about here. But I'm like imagining like Pryde on his cell phone trying to like get to the club and trying to like promote like everything with like with these pamphlets as he like walking around like downtown Vancouver, like going all over the place and just like it's like oh. And now it's like 2-for-1 specials over here, like with gin and tonics and other cocktails.
Have you heard about Sonic?
You hear
Has
about
anybody talked to you about Sonic
Gin and
today?
Sonic.
gin and Sonic, gin and Sonic. We're gonna get some gin and Sonic.
Gin and Sonic. Oh no, my face is so red now. It's like that's so funny. No way. But yeah, that's the true story. I'm serious.
No, that is like the cutest story that really just shows why you're the golden retriever of this group.
Yeah,
Because I
no
don't
one
think
was mad at me.
Snowball
Everyone was so excited. They're like,
I.
what does he look like? What does he do? Oh my god, this is what he looks like. He looks so cool. Like, it was cool. I don't know.
I am not that guy. I was I talked about being in the arcade all the time. Yeah, I was part of, and I rented teams as well, like to go to different places. But no, like I was not going around promoting, oh my god, look, Tekken 5 DR is coming out here and we're gonna get like these cool. No, I'm not doing that. Was not at all. Maybe for Initial D or Wangan Midnight, I might do that for those games. Maybe just because I loved those type of driving games, but not for fighting games. Oh god, those days of Wangan Midnight was so much fun. Arcades, man, you gotta love the arcades. Like, I'm sorry, Pryde. Like, Globs can probably like kind of elaborate, but Pryde, you missed a great time when you had to pump quarters into a machine just to play. You want to talk microtransactions? That's like the sheer definition of microtransactions, and you're not getting anything. You're just getting like maybe at most 4 minutes of entertainment. That sounded really dirty, but regardless, anyway, but Lobs, why don't you like just elaborate a little bit for like our little buddy over there, Pryde, that doesn't know what's going on about effing arcades. Jerks.
Come here, little buddy, and let's talk.
Yeah.
No,
puppy.
I'll sit down. Read me the book. And tell me your sage's stories. Let me hear them.
No, absolutely. I would spend hours in the arcade. We would like, my parents would give me X amount of money, and I just kind of wander around looking at like which games do I want to play. I know I'd almost always do Mortal Kombat 2, even though I'd lose after like the first few levels, and then like Darkstalkers 3, And, but usually there'd be like one game up front that's like really huge. Often it was Tekken or sometimes like Soul Calibur. But I just had all of these fond memories just wandering around. Oh, it's time to do Time Crisis. Why? Because I'm in an arcade and I'm gonna play Time Crisis. Usually though, I would stick to like the fighting games and the beat 'em ups and that sort of stuff because that's sort of like always been the things that I've loved. But it's dark. It's kind of loud. You're like got people all over the place. I mean, just the ones we were at, that's what they were kind of like, skirt around the DDR machines, whatever.
What the hell were you doing on the DDR machines?
Always the same 5 people.
Waiting.
Wait,
it's always the same 5 people waiting. When you see the row of quarters, you will never experience this. The row of quarters to wait in line to play a fighting game to face one-on-one, and it was a first to one. Like you had to sit there and just be cheap to make sure you stay on the machine. It was that type of environment. It was still fun because you got to really meet people in there. You could be salty. Okay, maybe I gotten threatened to be stabbed or punched in the face a few times. That's fine. It happens, but it's at least it's real life.
I mean, nowadays we have to face randos on the internet who they have to jump into your DMs and threaten to stab you and attack you.
Yeah, but
totally different from when they would do it right to your face.
There is a little bit there. That's why it's like I just like laugh. It's like, dude, it's just the game. I'd still say it to this day. It's like, dude, it's just the game. Like, what are you trying to do? Yeah. But then there's me getting. Like,
it's not that deep.
Every now and then, though, I would get a few people watching me play Darkstalkers because it's one of the games that's probably best at. Probably still also true. And I always joke like that's where I got my love of streaming from. Random strangers, come watch as I play the Stalker of the Darkness. All right.
You also okay. You also made it just extra creepy because you were also a teenager, technically a minor, and then you're basically these guys are probably like way older just because girl playing fighting games.
You know what? If you could not ruin my happy memories, that'd be great,
Toma. Well, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to ruin everyone's happy memories. And then on that note, because we kind of changed up the lineup, this is sort of like we'll kind of conclude at least this part of it where we just do the editorial because right now we're gonna do a little game. So I actually talked to my radio host. I said radio. Wow, I'm really old. My podcast host here, and they got a list of 8 characters, and I'm gonna give them up to 5 scenarios depending and I'm judge and jury. So basically, it's a Cards Against Humanity apples to apples style game, and I'm gonna give them a scenario, and then they're gonna tell me, what it is. I do have to play an audible here, so I don't like people doing counter picks. So you're gonna have when I tell you the scenario, I'll give you 5 seconds to sort of give me what your pick is. Just DM it to me so I know, and then I will choose who goes first or whatever after that. Once I hear, they get 30 seconds to sort of tell me what's kind of going on, and from there I pick it, and then they get a score. So actually, I'm gonna load that up right now. Just gonna put those right there for anyone that is watching. But it's great to just listen on to the podcast itself as I put out the scoreboard here, and so we can keep track of scores because sometimes I forget to keep track of scores and everything like that. And I'm just gonna start off with the music here.
Will it be like the first 2 based on game?
Yeah. So we're gonna
just double checking.
We're just gonna set the mood. We're just gonna set the mood here with the music as we're starting off. So first, your first scenario with your characters that I gave you, and they got all 4 from all 4 major games. They got 2 characters each. That was my choosing. So who would you take home to mom?
What?
You have to DM it to me first so I can see it. And make sure it's not in the media, and make sure it's not in our group chat. So it needs to be in our personal ones. Thank you. Okay, see you guys going. All right, I am going to go with Pryde. You go first. Your 30 seconds starts now.
From the Tekken franchise, I think if my mom had to meet someone, I would bring Lily. That was actually a choice you gave me. This seems too easy, right? She's What is she again? Moroccan or something? But she's royalty, right?
Monaco.
Oh, thank you, Monaco. I was like, please, thank you for correcting
15 seconds.
Royalty. She's rich. There. I mean, is that enough? She's pretty. She's really nice. She's cool. She's tall, probably, especially if you give her heels. Have you seen how long her like attack buttons are? Crazy. She likes tea. My mom does too. You know, my mom will be very impressed. Good manners, good table manners. Wealthy,
And time.
Probably,
Oh.
Ta-da.
Wow. Okay. Jeez, you're so shallow. Okay. That was a very shallow way. All right. In Lobs, you go right now.
All right, so I picked Katana from Mortal Kombat. It would first confuse my mother if I'm bringing home Katana, but almost similar to Pryde, she is also royalty. She is like princess of the Netherrealm. I feel like being that close to Sindel would be super dope. Having her as a mother-in-law, because she's absolutely insane, and I love insane people.
And time.
Yeah.
You need to talk a little bit faster if you want to get more things. Okay, so what I will say is there are two things that both are drawbacks about bringing that to mom, because I have to bring it up because this is hilarious to me. One, Katana is like 10,000 years old, so there's that. So I don't know how that will.
No problems here.
Yeah.
No problems here, Toma.
What's the problem?
But
way to age gate.
Yeah, well, there's that, but I'm also age gating over there because Lily is also, I think, isn't she 17? Like,
Wait, hold on. Hold on. I don't want Chris Hansen on me. Wait. Lily back in.
There should
Bro,
be a rule.
no, wait. It is 16 and Tekken 5. I don't know how. Wait.
So,
Wait,
oh god, she's 17, I believe, because it's literally 1 year.
17 and I mean.
Or maybe in HE might be 18. Well, you're going by Tekken 8.
17 years old in Tekken 8. Oh, I'm screwed. All right.
So one is wondering if you're really truly a gold digger, and then the other one is like hopefully you're not going to go to jail. I might just actually pick who's actually in the more worse predicament, so that point goes to Pryde, because that was just that is just hilarious that you did not know that, and you are going off on it so well, and I'm like, I am just shutting up and letting you just fall on your sword, and how that kind of goes about. Wow, this game went off to a great start. Okay, please DM me your pick. Who would you have lead a meeting with your career on the line?
Oh. Wait, my career?
Yes, your career. Like your career's on the line, and they're doing a meeting that you prepped or whatever, and your career's on the line, but they have to present. That's what it is. Okay. Because Pryde, you got the point. You go first.
Okay.
Go now. Yes. Go.
My day job is I sell chocolate, right? But Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat is too easy. Not only is he a movie star, but look at how well he speaks. He speaks like us, you know. He speaks well. He's handsome. He's got sunglasses that's cool, especially indoors, you know. And I'm sure if I give him a script, he'll read it. He's an actor. That's what he knows. And especially, and if they turn me back, he could just kick their butts. So there you go.
Time. Okay. All right. Lobs, you go into 1 and go.
And I picked Zangief from Street Fighter 6 specifically because in World Tour mode, when you sort of do his entire thing, he like pulls you into the gym and he builds you up. He's like, yes, we're gonna go in and we're gonna do all this stuff. And I feel like he would be a great person to build me up, make me strong, and keep my ass from getting becoming grass. I don't know, whatever.
And time. Wow, we had to end on that note. Okay, so
Yep.
we got Zangief and Johnny Cage. Like, really? You want Johnny Cage to kind of like get your career? He's like the guy that would stab you in the back. He's gonna be that guy that will stab you in the back. Zangief, he's actually like sort of the gentle bear, like the gentle lion type of person. And I'm gonna give this point to Lobs because there's other things, not just because of the world tour mode, but dude, I would love his third costume outfit when he's presenting in his third costume, where he's in this suit and vest. It's like, and he's looking all sophisticated.
What a gimme.
Like, who would not want to mess with a bodybuilder bear wrestler, but is like literally bursting at the seams when it comes to like all of that, you know, in a business meeting, like in a presentation room. All right, we are now tied up. So this is, like I said, this is actually going a lot better than I thought. So, all right. One of your characters is doing really bad performance-wise in your job, and they're on your team, and you have to fire them. Who would you fire and why? This is getting fun. I haven't seen any Guilty Gear yet, but I would love to see that if I could at some point. Oh, okay. And oh god, this is going to be interesting. All right. Lobs, you can start in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Speaking of Guilty Gear Strive, I chose to fire ABBA because honestly, I think that if anybody's going to be doing badly on a team, it's probably going to be the person who's super obsessed with the giant key that she literally carries around with her everywhere. It is also her paramour. So
10 seconds.
Honestly, as long as she still has him, I can't imagine she's going to get that angry at me. If the jealousy does come out, fine, whatever. But as long as I'm not trying to actually take her key away from her, just her job, it'll be okay.
Time. Okay, there you go. All right. I might have to like dock you a point for going over about 3 seconds, but it's fine. Pryde, you go in 3, 2, 1, and go.
I wish I could backpedal, but I'm gonna go with it. It's Blanca. Dude, he's scary. I don't know. I feel like I don't personally, I don't like him anyway, so this is like a biased pick, but you know, if you shake his hand, he might shock you. I don't know. And he's big and he's green and he can scare people. I don't know. That's pretty, actually, I heard he's pretty nice nonetheless, but still, I don't know. I have to pick, everyone here seems
10
pretty
seconds.
nice. Sorry, Blanca. You just got the short end of the stick. That's how corporate world works. You just gotta go, I guess.
Oh my god. And time. Okay, first off, I was more interested in the why, because like Blanca to me is like the Incredible Hulk. So it's like he's a nice guy, but what if he's not performing? Like if he kept dropping all that chocolate over at your store like every day, and you couldn't do anything, and you had to fire him, don't you think he was just gonna literally jump on you and start biting your face? Like that's kind of what he would do.
He would picture me as a big chocolate.
Yeah, and
I visualize me as a chocolate.
And honestly, with ABBA, I am so unsure like what to do. Like I would not want to fire her either. Like that's just crazy, because that she would be obsessed with her key, and the minute you have to bring it up because it is about her key, she's gonna go nuts. Like legit go crazy. So but with this one, I am gonna go with Lobs, because as much as Blanca is too much of a nice guy, and he could kind of he could be kind of nice about it or kind of understand, and I like chaos, and I know ABBA is literally a wild card and joker in all of this. So point goes to Lobs. All right, this is a first to 3, so Lobs is on match point here. But Pryde can get back. So Pryde, Lobs, you will go first, but give me your picks. And yes, this is please keep it PG-13. Worst bedroom partner.
Done. 3.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, but
you can still, if you want to switch it, you can switch it.
No, I oh man.
I'll give you 5 seconds to switch it if you want.
No, I'm sticking with it. I got to, and if it's a crash and burn, doesn't matter. I'm doing it.
All right. I'm interested in to hear Lobs' answer, so you can go in 3, 2, 1, and go.
So I picked Hwarong for mine because, we said up front in the stream that Jin is best boy for me, but let's be honest here. Jin is best boy for Hwarong, and I don't even know that I am going to enter his sphere if Jin is around anywhere. If he, needs to be rescued or something, I'm just gonna vanish out anyway. So, I can't compete with Jin.
3,
probably the drink
2,
or something.
1, and go. All right, so Pryde, you go. Go in 3, 2, 1, and go.
It's self-sabotage because I tunnel visioned Melina because I thought the mouth. What that mouth do? I realized if you just put a bag over her head, I'm sure it's actually great. So I'm just gonna say, it's a health hazard, but if you keep the mask on, you know, the bang, and don't worry about it. You're gonna just picture it whatever you want, you know, or it's all good. Just don't do anything, you know, below the waist with the mouth, man. Then we have problems. That's all. I'm saying. Oh, no French kissing either. Can't do that. There you go.
Oh, okay. And your time is up. Oh God. The one thing I would actually worry about Melina, it would be sort of the oral games, and that would be kind of maddening. But that's at least for me. And then, oh God. Horog is literally the guy that is the dick. Like, he is the prototypical douchebag. I should have said that. That probably get censored. But he's a prototypical douchebag on all of this stuff. So he's all about, like, himself, always complaining. I mean, that kind of might sound like a little bit of, like, Lobs' history, but there might be some connection there that we have to talk about later. It's okay. Sorry, Lobs. I'm sorry that I had to bring up.
Okay, I understand. You have to bring the truths in. It's fine.
Okay, all right. But for sake of the fact that it's almost like kind of a historical thing in a way, or at least it's a very stereotypical thing with Hwoarang, I got to go with Melina and Pryde on that. So we're going to match point. Seriously though, like, I don't know about Melina. That's just crazy. The bag over the head. You're that shallow, man. Like, okay.
Oh, but the body's fantastic, dude. She's crazy, but the mouth, bro, health hazard. I can't. It's like a chain chomp, dude. Can you imagine?
If we get canceled because of your commentary, like, one, I'm like proud that we actually got that far, that we were able to get canceled. But two, holy crap, that's crazy. All right, this is gonna be a little bit different. Mm-hmm. Give me any 3 characters on your list. I don't care whatever you want. Just give me any 3 characters on your list. DM them to me, and then I'll tell you the category.
Ones we haven't said yet?
Yeah, ones you haven't said yet.
Oh, haven't said.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
Just pick 3. Just pick them random, or I'll pick them for you. Okay. Well, I'm gonna flip a coin. Oh, God. I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm not gonna flip a coin because I actually want to hear this one. You guys each get 1 minute. Marry, buff, kill. Go, Pryde.
Oh, wait, Marry, buff, kill. Marry. Wait. What
Marry, bang, or kill. Like, that's it.
Bang. Oh, I was like buff. I'm like, oh, okay.
A bang, yeah.
Dude, marry. Okay, so I chose Guile, Jin, and Soul Bad Guy.
Yes.
Yo, I gotta marry Guile, bro. You see how good he's a family man. You know, he's an army man.
Okay.
I'm telling you, marry.
That's fine.
Soul Bad Guy seems like a great time. He's a bad guy. We gotta, you know, do the fun stuff.
He's like Hwoarang. He almost doesn't care half the time.
But that's the allure. You're not marrying this guy.
Okay.
You know what you're getting into, right? I think.
Okay.
Question mark.
You got 20 seconds.
And then I'm sorry, Jin. Jin's a handsome dude, though. Have you seen his pecs? Oh my God. Wait, it's tough. But I'm so bad guy. We're sticking with it. Sticking with it. Bye, Jin.
All right. So, and Jin, you're gonna kill because he was a war criminal. Is that gonna be your logic on that?
Yep, that's where I draw the line. There you
that's
go.
Where you draw the line.
Thanks, Toma.
You're welcome. Okay, and Lobs, you go. 1 minute starts now.
Absolutely. You know, I'm gonna marry Lydia because she's the Prime Minister of Poland, and as annoying as it can be to fight against her in ranked, I actually think she would be like an amazing spouse. She would have it all together. You know, we'd go to fancy restaurants. She has a limo, whatever. It'd be a good time.
You're definitely going to be the housewife on that one, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We're just gonna go ahead and bang Ken because, you know, he's been having a rough time of it anyway. He's got the good.
That's the reason? All right, you go.
Is he just desperate? Are you just know he's desperate?
No, I mean, I can't marry him. He lost all of his wealth to NFTs. What a bad choice is that? And he's like really, you know, kind of just like wandering around depressed right now.
10 seconds.
Yeah, and then Faust is just gonna have to go because he's got like a whole bag of bombs and tricks and all sorts of things, and I don't even know if I don't know if you could bring him home to my mother. Gosh. I mean, he is a doctor, but still, geez. They might like cross the line at just like throwing bombs out. Yeah, he was he was a doctor. That's
he was a doctor there. Oh my god.
I mean, he's a bag over his head. In theory, he would be great to marry, but
he has a bag over his head, by the way, like as a character.
He comes pre-bagged even. I don't even have to ask him to wear the bag.
You guys, it's like in New York, you have to they charge you for those bags. So is that an extra charge for like every time you see them?
We charge 25 cents.
Yeah, we charge 10 cents for ours too. Oh god.
All right. Well, I would like to personally apologize to Ken for bringing up all of his bad times.
He doesn't care. He's the one sleeping with you. He's like,
we'll make it better.
To make it better. But I am going. Oh god, I'm looking at both of yours right now, and I'm just like, who do I pick?
What just happened?
Like, what just happened? Because we had a Faust in there, but it's like the war criminal. Like, I don't know. It's like the war criminal you want to kill. I get it, but you know what? That is actually that is like so stereotypical anyway. So I'm gonna go with Lobs on that one. So Lobs wins this game. Congratulations, Lobs, on all of that. As I'm gonna see if I can get the applause. There's an applause.
You would marry Guile, though. You would marry Guile. That's like
sure.
That's a gimme. You would. Dude, you can use his hair as like to place stuff on, like a coffee table. If you ever need it, you know?
I don't know where the thing is, but that's okay. Anyway,
I feel like and it may not be part of his thing, but I feel like if anybody would be able to fix random stuff in your house, it would be Guile somehow. Yeah. Seriously, it seems like he would be super useful to have around.
But
July the 4th would be fun. He's patriotic. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
But the sole bad guy, like, I was just like, wow, the sole bad guy.
I had to pick, man.
You know what? Pryde likes bad boys. I don't know.
That's right. Wait, why'd I answer that so fast? What happened? Wait, did I go? Hold on.
It's fine. It's fine. Pryde, like, this is basically a therapy session. It was just it was just funny. Like, I actually don't know like Lobs' history, but I just wanted to call her out on something that seemed almost too easy as like a softball. But seriously though, Hwoarang is definitely like that prototypical, not bad boy, but like douchebag, like that people is like where I can fix them. Granted though, like you also main ABBA, you also main Vera from Grand Blue, like you do have this like thing, although I do too, so neither here nor there. But it's I just can't believe how this game, at least for us, like hopefully it's entertaining for everyone else out there though, but this game was actually really entertaining. It was almost like a whose line is it anyway type of thing. But with that, like, I guess we're gonna pretty much end this episode of this Summit cross up. So if you've enjoyed this episode, please give a like, comment, and also subscribe to our YouTube at NT Summit Gaming. We are also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube Podcasts, as well as Amazon Podcasts. If you're listening to us from any of those other podcast sources, please also leave a like and a follow. Also, go out and support our online tournament show, No Friends Given, which are on Thursdays and Sunday nights, live on Twitch at MT Summit. You can also follow Lobrylla and Pryde Live on Twitch and any of their various socials in the world, whether it's X or Blue Sky or what have you. And so finally, support your locals. Everyone go to your locals. I am going to NYC Tekken later this week, so hopefully I'll see a lot of you there when this episode comes out. And with that, I am Tomadoc.
I am Lobrylla.
And I'm Pryde.
And Lobs, sign us out.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope you have a good one. Take care and bye-bye.